In the recent past, we've tested several different types of oil additives, and we've seen some really impressive results from some of those products, while some not so impressive results from others. As some folks would say, some of these products seem like snake oil, while other products seem quite legitimate. So the question today is Liqui Moly snake oil, or is it a legitimate product? Now, it seems to have a very good reputation. I did quite a bit of research prior to putting this video together, and I did a lot of homework, and I saw a lot more positive comments out there than negative. However, there are a couple of claims that this product makes that I want to test. First off, will it improve fuel efficiency? If so, how much will it make a difference? Secondly, does it reduce internal friction? According to the product, it's supposed to be able to do that as well. I'm not sure if it can do either of these things, but I do know we have some equipment and some testing that can prove whether or not this stuff can deliver. So let's go ahead and get this testing underway. The first thing I want to do is clean up the combustion chamber on this engine that we're going to use in some testing. This product claims it leaves a moly film, and so I realize we're not going to see the moly film on the piston or valves, but we should see it on the cylinder walls, and I just want to have everything really cleaned up. We're going to run this for a while, do some testing, and then come back and look on the inside and see what we observe. The first thing I want to do with this small engine before we test it is to disconnect the governor from the carburetor, because if we don't, then the governor is going to try to set an RPM level for us and keep it there even if internal friction is reduced. So what we're going to do is make sure this throttle plate is set in a specific location so it can't move back and forth. And then when we add the Liqui Moly, what we should see is an RPM increase if the friction has been reduced. So according to a fact sheet about MOS2 that I found online, Liqui Moly MOS2 is supposed to reduce internal wear by up to 50%. Also is supposed to reduce oil and fuel consumption. So we're going to measure that today. So according to the safety data sheet, Liqui Moly MOS2 contains between 60 and 100% of paraffin oils, and also between 1/2 and 1.5% molybdenum disulfide. If you're interested in knowing more about each of these ingredients, just look up the CAS numbers, look these up online, you get a lot more information. The flash point of MOS2 is 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. So the throttle plate is in a fixed position. This is wired tight. This is not going to move from vibration or anything else. So now what we're going to do is start the engine. We're going to take a measurement of the RPMs, and we're going to let this run and warm up first so we can get a good assessment. And then we're going to shut it off. We're going to then add some Liqui Moly MOS2, and we're going to do the same thing. Just run it a while and then measure the RPMs and see if there's any change. What we do now is add the Liqui Moly MOS2 to the oil, run this engine, and see if the RPMs go up. MOS2 claims it reduces internal frictions. We're going to use this lubricity tester and we're going to compare it against conventional 10W30 oil. Now I've used this testing device, this lubricity tester, in several other videos, and it's proven to be very reliable. And the reason for that is I don't touch this device during the testing process. Essentially the way this works is I'll install a bearing in this bearing holder, and then I will apply the weight to this spinning wheel race, let it run for 30 seconds. We'll shut the machine off, we'll take the bearing out, and we'll inspect it. And this will give us a good indication as to whether or not MOS2 has a better film strength and reduces friction than, say, conventional 10W30 oil. So I previously tested 10W30, and that's the bearing on the left. The bearing on the right is MOS2. Now this one is too close to call. I can't see any difference between the two regarding the amount of scoring. To me it looks like a virtual tie. We're going to use this generator to measure fuel efficiency. Once the engine is warmed up, I'm going to go ahead and fill the fuel tank all the way up to the top and then run the engine with a 1500 watt load on it until the fuel runs out. We're going to add some MOS2 to the crankcase and repeat the same process and see if the engine will run longer. Now I've got a couple of gadgets I've hooked up. We have a tachometer. A couple of these little devices are called kilowatt, but they give us some good information, including the number of watts that are being drawn from the generator, the number of amps, and how many volts this generator is producing. So we're going to be using this during the testing as well, just to give us a little bit more information. Rather than trying to weigh fuel, we're going to fill the fuel all the way up to the very tip, the very edge of the top of this container. And then we're just going to run it until the fuel runs out. Okay, so the engine ran 58 minutes flat, so I'm going to stop the clock and reset it. And I'm going to go ahead and drain off an ounce of oil and add an ounce of Liqui Moly, and then go ahead and get this engine going again and see how long it'll run with Liqui Moly. So for products like Liqui Moly MOS2, they contain solids, so what you really have to do is shake this up really well so that the solids are suspended inside the carrier oil. Well, we set out to measure two things. Will Liqui Moly MOS2 reduce internal friction? And secondly, will it improve fuel efficiency? Regarding internal friction on the lubricity tester, we didn't see any sort of improved performance over 10W30 oil. Inside the lawnmower engine that was pre-treated with 10W30, when we added Liqui Moly MOS to it, it did not increase, the RPMs did not go up. So I didn't see any sort of improvement regarding internal friction, but there may be a better way to measure that. Regarding fuel efficiency, the generator ran for 58 minutes, or approximately 58 minutes, with and without Liqui Moly MOS2. So again, I didn't see fuel efficiency. But maybe this product works better if used and treated for a longer period of time, say 50 to 100 hours. I don't know. I did not see anything on the web or the instructions indicating that it required a long period of time in order for it to kick in and do its job. But what I do know is a lot of folks like this additive, and maybe I just didn't do a good job testing it. I'd like to know your comments on how I did. I'd also like to know your comments on your experience with this product. Finally, if there are other additives you want me to test, please let me know that in the comments section, and I'll try to get to those as quickly as possible. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you'll like, share, and subscribe. Please take care, and I look forward to seeing you next time.